All right, list month continues because we're going to the biggest list that there is within this series because we've already ranked the strongest heroes, the strongest monsters, and the strongest of everyone in between. So now we're just going to the best of the best, and we're ranking the 10 strongest characters in the entire series. So just like with every other list I've made, this is of course subjective, and you're probably going to have varying opinions to my own. And just remember that I'm not necessarily saying that one character could beat the other because I rank them above. I'm just trying to rank them based purely on their power, and then maybe they could beat the other one, but that's not like the deciding factor here. And also, I'm going to have to go into webcomic spoilers to accurately assess these characters, so if you don't want to know what's going to happen, I suggest you check out now. So first, let's get into some honorable mentions. So, God. Yeah, he should probably be like number 2 on this list, but we just don't know enough about him yet. We know that he can give powers to guys like Homeless Emperor and maybe allegedly Vaccine Man, and he can also take them away. But aside from that, he doesn't have any real like feats yet, so I don't think it's like fair to put him on the list just yet, even though if we kind of know that he's probably the strongest. And then Prime Bang. So this guy's even more unknown than God, and there's too much speculation going in with him. So we know how powerful current 82-year-old Bang is, and knowing that in his 30s he was at his prime, so he was probably way stronger than what he is currently. But we just don't know how strong, so also I don't think it's fair to put him on here. And then lastly, the founder of the Ninja Village. So we'll probably see this guy soon, maybe in the next chapter of the webcomic, hopefully. But until then, we just don't know enough about this guy. Now, is he one of the strongest characters in the series? Probably. It's said that he fought Blast in a quote-unquote epic battle. So, yeah, he's probably ultra strong, given that he's the strongest ninja in history, but just don't know enough about him yet. Number 10, Evil Natural Water. So, I find that 10 has become, like, the most difficult rank to make because it gets pretty competitive around this point, given that, like, after it's kind of clear-cut from, like, 9 to 1. But Evil Natural Water is, like, pretty much broken, I guess. I mean, he's sentient water, and he reminds me of Boo from Dragon Ball Z. Like, Boo had the crazy regeneration ability, and he just seemingly had limitless power. And it ultimately came down to, like, everyone having to chip in for the Spirit Bomb to order to take him out, and even that wasn't enough, and Goku needed another boost on top of that. And it's like, with Evil Natural Water, it ultimately came down to, like, Saitama having to take care of him, and he even survived an earnest punch from Saitama. So that means that if you even want to bring this guy to, like, his base form, even have a shot of taking him down, you need to generate as much force as, like, an earnest punch from Saitama, which debatably, like, a few characters in the series maybe can generate. But aside from that, we know that he has the ability to pull moisture from the air and objects to regenerate and grow bigger, and he seemingly has an unlimited arsenal with his water jets, which are ultra fast and can pierce through anything. The only thing that's really holding this guy back is that he's not, like, self-aware, or, like, barely, but yeah, he's, like, almost unbeatable. Number 9, Metal Knight. And I think it's fair to say that he's one of the strongest characters in this series, even if he kind of is falling into a similar category that the honorable mention guys were, given that we really have to speculate about it. But I think we have a more definitive look at how powerful he is, given that we got a whole bunch of info on him in the series. Like, in the data book, it straight up says that he has at least 100 of those Metal Knight robots, so that's pretty powerful right there. But it's also stated by Gira that he's only one of 4 heroes who could take down Elder Centipede. And we've seen that he can construct the entire Hero Association in 7 days when it was originally projected to take 10 friggin' years. We saw his construction robots. We know that he has Boros' ship and that he's going to harvest that and make crazy powerful stuff from it because we know how powerful Boros' ship is. And given that he's being set up to be like a future foil for Saitama and probably a foil for the main cast, he's likely going to be ultra powerful by the time we see his full potential, which allegedly the Hero Association fears. So I just don't want to put him any higher than this, but I'm sure in the future he'll be closer to the top of this list. Number 8, Black S. So I'm grading Black S as a whole here, meaning that I'm adding Golden S in here because he's just a byproduct of Black S after all. But Black S, similar to Evil Natural Water and Boo, in that they have that unfair regeneration ability, except Black S goes beyond that because he has over 11 trillion cells of himself, and he could just basically off of that make unlimited clones. But even if we've seen just the condensed clones, like a couple hundred of them, or maybe even 1,000, they're all powerful enough to wreck people like Atomic Samurai and even fight competitively, or even more so at the same level of power as like guys like a Mind Mask. You can't cut him, you can't punch him, you can't really do anything because he's just going to keep multiplying or just regenerate from it, or even just come together and make a huge Hulkisk monster. Now, just like Evil Natural Water and Boo, you basically need to vaporize this guy to fully take care of him. But even if you don't get to that point, he's just going to combine his cells to make a multi-S or a Golden S. I mean, he's really broken as a character. Number 7, Orochi. So, just in his restrained form, he was like playing around with pre-woke Garo. And then it was also revealed that he has like the martial arts genius copy ability, and he picked up the water stream in like a second, which is just overkill at this point. But when he's trying and he goes into his true form, he can just casually launch off like city busting plasma fire energy blasts, and then he can do multiple of them with his crazy dragon mouths that he can produce, and then he can concentrate them all together and make his own Millennium Emperor Nova type thing, and then he can do like the one-armed water stream rock smashing fist. Like, there's a reason that Saitama had to fight this guy, because it's very unlikely that any of the other heroes could have really gotten the job done except Tatsumaki, who we're going to go into. But the only thing that's really sus about this guy is his durability. He went down from a single normal punch from Saitama, so I don't really want to put him any higher than this. Number 7. So as I was saying, Tatsumaki. It was said by One and Murata that they were unsure if she could even lose to Orochi, and then in some drafts of the story, she straight up defeats Orochi. And also, One himself said that if she was at her 100% form, she could defeat Golden S, so that's pretty telling of her power. But Murata also says that she could lift Z City, and that's probably true, given that we've seen her pull the friggin' Monster Association out of the ground, and that didn't really faze her too much. She also stopped all those bullets from Boros' ship, sent them right back up. So she's absurd. She's fought multiple of the cadres at once, and that didn't really faze her. And aside from all of that, she's pretty durable too, because even when Psychos and Fear Ugly were roughing her up, she was still taking it on the chin. Her reflexes are ultra fast too, because she was able to stop Golden S from completely raging deeming her out of existence. And then even when she's damaged, she was able to hold Awakened Garo still and even lift Saitama. Number 5, Awakened Garo. So this guy is said by One to be the perfect monster, and I kind of agree with that. I mean, he has near unrivaled speed, strength, durability, and skills. Like, there's really no one that could come close to this guy except everyone that's ranked above him. But aside from that, he's just destroying everyone. He's just so powerful that it's almost comical, like when he starts taking down the S-Class. Now, Murata has also said that the scale of his fight with Saitama, once it gets to the manga, will be that greater of the fight with Boros, meaning that he's probably going to be stronger than Boros by the time we see him in the manga. So until then, I just want to keep him here, but I'm sure that we will see way more outrageous stuff from him, which is already outrageous in the webcomic. Number 4, Boros. So Boros, in just his released form, is almost too much for nearly anyone in the S-Class, honestly. And then when he goes into Meteoric Burst form, he's the closest that we have seen a monster come to disaster level god so far. I mean, his speed, strength, and durability is just truly absurd. I mean, he took a punch from Saitama and just went back like, I don't know, 30 feet or something. And then he has that stupid regeneration ability, which is Boo-esque in itself. And then, of course, we all know he has the Collapsing Star Roaring Cannon, which is a confirmed Earth Buster. Number 3, Blast. So I think Blast should be here. Even though we haven't seen him yet, I think the hype that we get on him is more than enough to warrant this spot, at least in my opinion. So it's confirmed that he soloed Elder Centipede, confirmed that he soloed the strongest ninja in history, and then it is said by Fubuki in the data book that he could defeat all of the S-Class at once and is stronger than King. And they think that King is basically Saitama, so that's a pretty good indication of how powerful he is. And also, I theorize that he's likely going to be Saitama's third big fight of the series, so due to the order of progression and things needing to get more interesting and the stakes needing to raise, he will probably be stronger than Boros and Awakened Garo. Number 2, King. Yep, I'm doing it. And if anybody is aware of how polarizing King is, guys, it's definitely me. Like, I know that there's a lot of people that disagree with me, but there's also a lot of people that agree with me on King having supernatural luck abilities. Now, if you want to call it meta luck, if you want to call it super luck, it doesn't matter. I really truly believe that One wrote this character to have this ability. And it's like he's not even really aware of it, but he has some kind of supernatural intrinsic probability altering, reality bending ability to him that just makes things happen in his favor. Whether it's his charisma allowing people to like him or fear him, or to have others fight for him. Now, am I saying that King is infallible? As of right now, yeah. But I'm not delusional in thinking that there is a possibility that his day of reckoning may come, but until it does, I'm pretty sure that he is second to Saitama. Who is number 1 on this list? I mean, of course, he is the One Punch Man, and some people kind of get angry if I don't rank Saitama in the list. It's like, it kind of goes without saying, he is the one above all, as I always say. There's no one that's even close to him. I mean, even by the time that the story allegedly gets to him versus God, I'm sure that God won't even really push him to his 100% power, which, let me also mention, we have yet to see. So guys like Awakened Garo and Boros would be very formidable if they were to jump into another battle manga universe. like that didn't even push Saitama remotely far. Like, we probably haven't even seen like 20, maybe 30% of like Saitama's power. Maybe more, maybe less, but he's just absurd, and that's the whole thing about him. He's supposed to be comically powerful. So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. I hope you were entertained by this one, and if you liked it, please give it a like, but also let me know who you have in your top 10 in the comments. I'm sure it'll be different than mine, but let me know, please. And I also have a Patreon. It gives you access to a weekly Q&A, and if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next